I'm live. So, guys, if you've been watching this morning, we've been having great fun. Mark Stephen Pula invited me to be in his group and do an interview with him. And for some reason, Facebook didn't want me to be in that group. So Mark is watching. I'm going to try and bring him onto camera. Video. Are you there, Mark? I'm adding you, I think. I hope. Let's see what's happening. Casper Craven is watching. Listen, Casper, I don't know. Wait till we're going and it's working, because I'm not sure you should be watching at the moment. Jeff is watching. Oh dear, Laura's watching. Mark, where are you? So this Facebook Live stuff, literally, if you ever have any problems where you're not going to the bathroom, just start using Facebook Live, because I tell you, you won't need any medication. Hello, Jeff. So according to my screen, I am adding Mark, but nothing's happening. And I think there's a conspiracy out there saying that Mark and I shouldn't talk to each other on video for some reason. But originally, Mark invited me to be in his group because he wanted to talk about speaker bureaus and how we work and what we do. And I might just do the interview by myself if he doesn't join me soon, because he had sent me the questions in advance. So Facebook is still saying adding. And I'm going to have to call Mark Zuckerberg later and say, look, mate, what's going on here? So while you're there, if you've got any questions about speaker bureaus, I will do this without Mark until he joins me. Any questions? Congratulations, by the way, to Casper Craven, whose book is now #1 bestseller. So Casper, well done, congratulations. If you haven't got it, go get it. It's a brilliant book about the story of his taking his family around the world. I think it was 35,000 miles, is that right? 26 ports or something. Anyway, crazy, crazy man, crazy, crazy family, brilliant, wonderful story. Mark, I feel alone, abandoned. Where are you? Please join me. I don't think this is going to happen today. I think that Mark and I are destined not to be in the same place at once. Anyway, while I'm here, for those of you who haven't got video, do go over to my new event where we're going to create wonderful show reels for you. Casper, I know you've got great video. Jeff, I know you have too. Breaking news has just come up. Russian ex-spy Sergei Skripal has been something or other. Can't see the rest. Mark, you know, I feel you don't love me anymore. I don't know what to do. I think, what should we talk about? I could have a bit of a rant actually about life in general, but this wasn't what this was about. Yeah, I think I'm going to give up on this because it's not going to work. Casper's saying essential skill for speakers. Mark Stephen Pula wants to be in your video. I know he does. Approve. Okay. It says we can't bring you in, Mark, for some reason. Approve. Can't bring Mark Stephen Pula on camera. There is already a guest in this broadcast. Okay, so let me take you away from there and let me try again. Approve. Are you there, Mark? Are you there?
Hello.
OMG! Listen,
we got there.
Oh my God, that was just. Anyway, thank you. So you're the host. So I'm going to let you take over.
Yes, so let me take over now. So I'm really happy to have Maria as my guest. We've had a few technical issues with Facebook Live, but hey, everything happens for a reason, they say. So Maria Franzoni is founder and director of Maria Franzoni Ltd Speaker Bureau, providing speakers to corporate clients internationally. She is the co-chair of the European Association of Speaker Bureaus, operations director of the Cultural Change Consultancy, We Do Things Differently, and the host of the Speaking Business podcast, where each week she invites a speaker from her bureau to join her in conversation. Maria, thank you for letting me interview you today. We got there in the end.
Do you know, that was one of the hardest things ever, and now everyone knows why I am not a speaker. Because do you know, I don't know how speakers do it, because it's so nerve-wracking. And actually, there was only like 2 or 3 people who I know very well watching, and it's still nerve-wracking. Oops, now the scenery is collapsing. So, Mark, take it away.
So my first question, can you tell us a little bit about your story and what got you into being a speaker bureau in the speaking industry?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, obviously, when I was at school and I was getting careers advice, I had no idea that speaker bureaus and the speaking industry even existed. And so I actually studied business and went into retail management. And I got as far as I could go. There was a glass ceiling that was lower than the ceiling for men. And I couldn't go any higher. And I got a bit upset about that. But it was a brilliant learning place. I learned an awful lot. And I saw some ads, an ad in particular for management consultancy, and I was totally unqualified for it, but they needed a fluent Italian speaker desperately, and of course I speak fluent Italian, so I went for it. And they interviewed me in French, which was a challenge because my French was A-level French and not fluent, but I still got the job because clearly no one spoke Italian there, so they couldn't interview me in Italian. And that was a brilliant learning. I went on to other industries and to manage companies and start my own businesses. And then I got to the point where I wanted to do something different, and I saw this really strange advert which made very little sense. It didn't tell you very much about anything. It just said if you're able to negotiate at a very high level. And I thought, well, I've been sitting in front of CEOs telling them what's wrong with their business, and I thought I can do this. And that's when I discovered the speaker bureau business. And I went for an interview, and my first job was with a company called Celebrity Speakers, who are still around. And for me, in my knowledge, they were the first in Europe. And I had the fantastic opportunity to work with a guy called Alex Krywald, who was the founder, who sadly is no longer here, but was such a genius. He really understood the value that speaker bureaus could bring. So I had the best training I think I could have had, the best foundation. And the world is the business world of speaking business and speaking is totally addictive. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm working with the most interesting people, both on the speaking side and on the client side. It's not real world, really. I'm incredibly lucky.
That's amazing, Maria. That brings me on to my next question, and that is, what advice have you got for new aspiring speakers to get started in the industry and to have real success with it as well?
Oh, well, there's so much advice I could give. So let's just distill it down to some of the main things. So I think, first of all, know who your client is going to be so that you know what problem you solve or what benefit you bring. Because many speakers think, well, I'm an expert in this and therefore I'm going to talk to that. But if there isn't a client base out there, if you want to be paid, now not every speaker is going to want to be paid. Some will do it because they've already got enough money and they want to share a message, or others because they don't need payment. So just work out, okay, who's my end audience and how do I get that message? And once you've got your message right, if you're starting out and are not experienced, just take every opportunity to practice and hone your skills, really. There's this huge debate about should I speak for free, shouldn't I speak for free? When you're starting out, yeah, take every opportunity. And even when you're out there, there will be times where you will want to speak for free anyway, for a valid reason. So yeah, get out there, practice, hone your message, and it's amazing. The more you're out there, the more people know about you.
They're great tips, Maria. It's definitely true to know your audience, know who you're helping. And I think it's great advice about speaking for free as well, because you do get great exposure. And like Nigel said last week, if you're speaking for free, just make sure it's the right target audience that you're speaking to. So that was another great tip as well. That brings me to my next question. Did you want to say something?
No, just saying Jeff Ram has just said absolutely an amazing industry to be part of. And it really is. I mean, we are really lucky to be in this, rarefied air, as I've said before.
It's a really enjoyable atmosphere and just such a buzz when you speak, and it is a great industry to be part of. So that brings me to my next question. This is a bit of a big one now. Can you tell me exactly what you're looking for, or what speaking bureaus in general are looking for to get speakers registered onto their books?
Okay, so let me correct you first of all. It's a speaker bureau, not a speaking bureau. Okay.
Speaker bureau. I'm in trouble now.
You're in trouble. And sometimes it's referred to a speakers bureau because obviously there's lots of them, but it's a speaker bureau. And so each bureau will be looking for different things, but generally what I'm looking for when I'm looking, which I'm not at the moment, so please don't all apply. What I'm looking for normally is I want something that's current. Because that's easy for me then, so it's current and relevant, or a hot story, or somebody who's very high profile, or I want something that answers a requirement of my clients. So and often the clients are coming to me in pain, and I've got to match their requests. And if I haven't, then I'll go out and source them. I prefer to go out and source the people that I want, because I know then that I'm going to bring them some business, rather than have speakers come to me. But other bureaus work differently, so we all work differently. But I'm sure that everybody's going to say they want something that's current and somebody that truly understands the value that they're bringing. And if they're, when Tim Peake, came back to of course he was hot stuff, and he will remain hot stuff for quite some time.
Great tips again, Maria, and that's really helpful for people who are really focusing on getting registered in bureaus, so thank you for that. Now, I've got a bit of a fun question for you now. So I know that you have worked with some of your idols. Can you drop us some names? Can you tell us who these idols are, please?
That's funny, because I'm always being told off for name dropping. I do it all the time. I love name dropping, and so you've given me permission, so I will. So when I started many years ago with Celebrity Speakers and Alex, and we had the discussion, who is the person you would like to book? Who's the person you most admire? For me then, and it was Neil Armstrong. And I had the pleasure of, in fact, I've had the pleasure of working with 3 of the astronauts who have walked on the moon. There are only 12. So that I don't know if I'll ever meet a 4th. It would be wonderful if I did. But for me, it was Neil. And I'm fascinated by all of that story, the moon landing. And he was a wonderful, wonderful man. And I miss him a lot. He was great. So that was my big idol.
That's awesome. I mean, not many people can say they've met someone who's walked on the moon.
Well, I worked with 3.
So you're very lucky, Maria. Well,
I'm
really
verified. Sorry, Mark.
Oh, Jeff Bram's doing his first moon landing next Wednesday.
I work with Jeff. So there you go.
So, Maria, thank you for letting me interview you today and helping people that are interested in the speaking industry. Now, Maria's got an amazing group for speakers, so if you're an established speaker or an aspiring speaker, please connect with Maria and she will add you to her speaking group. And can you just tell the audience how people can connect with you, Maria, the best way people can connect with you?
Yeah, connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn. And I just want to say something. We're going to go off piste here. Yesterday would have been my 33rd wedding anniversary had I stayed married. And my lovely ex-husband is watching. And I'm so tempted to bring him onto camera, but I won't do that to you, Gary. Hello. Probably the first time we've spoken in quite a long time. So isn't that amazing? And obviously on the theme of weddings, because we've got Meghan and Harry getting married on Saturday. I hope they have more success than we did. Gary and I were wonderful people individually. We just didn't work together. But hey, anyway.
Still love you, Gary. Maria. Thank you so much for letting me interview you today. Sorry about the little issues we've had, but we've still got the interview out there, so all's good. Thank you, Maria.
Bye-bye.
Bye, take care.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.